So now that I've decided to go Micro Four Thirds, I have to make a decision between the OM-1 and the GH6. Now, in a perfect world, I would get both, but in a perfect world, everybody who watched this video would hit the thumbs up button, and probably 1 in 10 of you would subscribe. That would be amazing, but not overly realistic. And for those of you who are still in the full frame Sony camp, the reason why I'm not going full frame, despite, owning a lot of full frame glass from Nikon, is because of this lens right here. This is the 24-70 f2.8 lens from Nikon. It's full frame, but it's a very good lens to represent the largest lenses that I would look at for Micro Four Thirds. This lens is about the same size as the 10-25 f1.7, although this lens weighs about 1,000 grams versus 700, and while this lens is definitely closer in weight to the 100-400, it's a 100-400 lens, which, converted all that fun equivalently stuff, ends up being this lens is as big as a 200-800 in Micro Four Thirds. That's a big deal because, I love this lens. It's amazing. I'm going to feel really bad when I sell it to buy the Micro Four Thirds stuff, but not so bad that I don't have to carry it around anymore. So with the choice of going to Micro Four Thirds out of the way, the real question becomes, which flagship camera am I going to purchase? Because at the end of the day, it's been the cameras that have held me back from going to Micro Four Thirds, not really the lenses, because the lenses have been around forever. I think Micro Four Thirds has come out with like 1 or 2, maybe 3 lenses in the last year and a half or 2 years, whereas, on all the other full frame cameras, they're just pumping out a new lens every like 4 months because they don't have any. So on the one side, we have the OM-1. Now, the thing I like about the OM-1 is that it has the phase detect autofocus, it has a stack sensor, and it's really designed to be a rugged camera to be used out in the wilderness, which for me makes a lot of sense to consider. However, it does have a few weaknesses that the GH6 overcomes, which is the video quality is a lot better than the GH6. The GH6 actually has, with that video quality, active cooling, and while I don't think I'm going to be taking a lot of 50, 80, 100 megapixel photos with these cameras, initial reviews are that the 100 megapixel mode from the GH6 is actually the more superior quality option compared to the two. So it's a bit of an interesting toss-up because they actually complement each other really, really well. And as I said at the start of the video, in a perfect world, you get both, because you'd have the OM-1 for Micro Four Third feel, and then you get the GH6 for that, video powerhouse. So I've been going back and forth as to which camera is best for me, based on all the rumors going back and forth, etc., and then the final releases of both cameras. And it was basically a coin flip. And honestly, I almost picked up a coin to flip it. I'm not joking here. But ultimately, I made the decision to go with the GH6. And the reason for that is simply for the type of content I make as a hybrid person. I do photos and video. Having a really powerful video camera, even one with, video capabilities that I don't think I'd even use from day one to grow into, makes a lot more sense than buying a camera that, while the OM-1 is absolutely amazing, if I ever decide to go get a full frame camera, pretty much that full frame camera will do everything that the OM-1 will do, but going out and buying a full frame camera that can do everything that the GH6 can do, well, I don't even know if there's one that exists. Probably the A7 III, and that camera is what, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000? Yeah, well beyond, I think, my budget and most sort of hybrid independent shooters. So that's sort of what I went with. I'm definitely going to be doing a lot of videos with it once I get it in my hands. If you are on Team OM-1, let me know in the comments below, and still give this video a like, because if I get enough people to say, hey, I also want to watch your content with the OM-1, I might say, okay, don't buy a really expensive lens, but get both camera bodies and then do a comparison. Not sure that's the wisest thing to do, but let me know in the comments below. In my next video, I'm going to be talking about what lenses I'm going to get for the Micro Four Thirds system. Up until now, I have the 20 f1.7 and the 40-150 from Olympus, because I've just been using speed boosters and focal reducers and adapting my Nikon lenses. Obviously, now that I'm making this full switch over, I'm selling all the Nikon stuff in order to buy new lenses. So Be sure to hit subscribe and find out what lenses I look at getting, because no matter which camera you're getting, I think lens selection is really important, and there are definitely some really good options in Micro Four Thirds that people should be considering, especially if they're just starting out in the system, and avoid, spending a lot of money, then going out and spending more money, and then spending more money. Get the right lenses for what you need to do. Thanks for watching.